Hello and welcome. Let's take a look at our top story. The body of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny has been handed over to his mother. The news of his death came at a time when the country is in the middle of a full-scale war, and the presidential election is due next month. Now, what impact will his death have on Moscow's internal policy or its war in Ukraine? The first thing to watch is the campaign for the March 15th to 17th presidential election. Given the state's tight grip on politics and the media, Putin is certain to win unless a major unexpected development takes place. Navalny was the last public politician to pose a real challenge to Putin's regime. But his attempt to overthrow Putin ended and failed long before what appears to be his untimely death in prison. Within Russia, Navalny is seen as irreplaceable in his ability to connect and to mobilize. Most of his allies are now in exile, and the Kremlin's stranglehold on the digital public square tighter than ever. Even when thousands of Russians gathered at Navalny's memorial, authorities detained scores of people as they sought to suppress any major outpouring of sympathy for Putin's fiercest foe. Earlier, Russians on social media say officials don't want to return Navalny's body to his family because they fear a public show of support for him. Navalny was able to reach the hearts and minds of young people, which might disappear now. It seems as if Russian opposition has no leader, no focal point to unite behind, no face to represent it, no voice to speak on its behalf. Here are Putin's early oppositions. Alexander Litvinenko died of poisoning in 2006. Anna Politkovskaya was shot dead in 2006, and Boris Berezovsky committed suicide in 2013. And Boris Nemtsov was killed in a shooting in 2015. Now, Boris Nadezhin, the only would-be candidate who is a critic of the war against Ukraine, was barred from the ballot this month, and now Putin seems almost certain to win. Now, for more on this, we are being joined by Dr. Sergei Markov, the former spokesman for President Putin, former member of the Russian parliament and director of the Institute of Political Studies and Russian political scientist, joining us from Moscow. Thank you for being with us. Now, the elections are scheduled for the 17th of March. Navalny's body has been handed over to his mother now. He was Putin's fiercest critic. Do you think that this will have any impact on the election?
It will have impact on the election not inside country, but outside country. The death of Alexei Navalny will be used by Western leaders for the political goal to deny legitimacy of the elections of Vladimir Putin, because he has, according to sociology, 75% of support, and for the denying of legitimacy of presidential power in Russia. They will try to move to the political isolation of Vladimir Putin, but claiming him as an illegal president of Russia. So it's main political causes for this. So the death of Alexei Navalny was clearly benefits to the Western leaders, to the president of the United States, Joe Biden, and leaders of European Union. I knew Alexei Navalny personally, and he was a very bright politician, smart, very modern style, I would say, politician. He represents young generation, and he was hopes for a lot of people, something about 15, 12, 13, 11 years ago, when he got second place in the election of a Moscow mayor, and he got 27%. But 10 years ago, Alexei Navalny killed himself as political leader because Navalny denied to support a decision of Crimean people to leave Ukraine, where the power had been taken by neo-fascist junta, and the Crimean people decided to rejoin with Russia. This decision of Crimean people had been supported by more than 90% of Russian population, and as a result, Alexei Navalny became already no strong and prospective political leader. Last 10 years, he was already artificially outlined by Western media as main opposition political leader, but already he did not during these last 10 years. And after the beginning of the war in Ukraine, which is supported by most of the Russians also, and Alexei Navalny denied to support this war against Russophobic neo-fascist regime. And of course, his support already very much minimized. That's why domestically, his death will have no any political consequence. But very important thing. We can see. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Right, and Doctor, why has it taken 9 days for Navalny's body to be handed over to his mother? Navalny's supporters say that the authorities are seemingly reluctant for there to be a public funeral.
Oh, yeah. First of all, authorities are a little bit concerned about public funeral. That's why. But also, authorities concerned that body could be broken outside of Russia, because Russian authorities afraid what happened 3 years ago. 3 years ago, Alexei Navalny had been poisoned. Then he, for the saving his life, Vladimir Putin gave order to save life of Alexei Navalny, and even some of the laws in Russia had been violated to allow the airplane with Alexei Navalny to move to the German hospital. But what happens in Germany? In Germany, German and American and British intelligence service, they falsify medicine procedures, and they found their the Novichok so-called, and they claim they blame Russian authorities. So now Russian authorities are absolutely sure that if body of Alexei Navalny will be moved to outside, the intelligence service of NATO country will make falsifying of the expertise, and they will blame Russia for the poisoning of Alexei Navalny, which is false. So they concerned that the body should be buried inside Russia.
Yes. Dr. Markov, unfortunately, we have to stop there. We have run out of time. Thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast and for your valued insights.
Thank you.
For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.